You alright?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
What you up to?
Can I ask you why you're engaged in me?
Stop there a minute.
Why?
I'm just trying to identify who you are because you've got your face covered and you've... what's your name, please, sir?
I don't have to give you my name.
Okay, well, at this moment in time, we believe that you might well be wanted. Okay. Well, we'll cross that bridge in a minute once we've confirmed it. So that's why we need to identify who you are. It's all right. We'll do it another way. Just bear with us a second.
You start with your first name, please, sir.
Don't believe I have to provide your name.
Okay. Well, I believe that you're wanted, right? Okay. Just by your description alone, right? So I believe that you're wanted off a briefing that I've received today, right? So we can do it one of two ways.
Wanted for what?
Well, wanted for an offence.
What offence?
Well, wanted for an offence of harassment, actually. So I need to check you out in order to see A, if it is you, or B, if it isn't you, right? And if it isn't you, I'll bid you good day and off you go.
From the outset, the officer's behavior is deeply concerning. He stops the auditor based solely on a vague morning briefing. There's no clear description, no specific crime cited, just a general assumption. Rather than explaining the reason for the stop, he immediately demands personal information without any solid justification. This isn't careful policing, it's guesswork wielded with authority. When the auditor refuses to provide his name, the officer says, "If it's not you, I'll let you go." That comment alone exposes the flawed reasoning at work. It implies that your freedom depends on proving you aren't someone else. In the UK, however, that's not how the law operates. Officers must have concrete, specific grounds, not vague suspicions or broad alerts, to justify a stop.
So if we start with your first name, or are we going to have to get a fingerprint scanner down here and find out who you are, or take you down to custody to try and identify you because you refuse to give me details?
I haven't committed an offence.
Okay, so if you haven't committed any offences, can I start with your first name, please, sir?
I don't need to give you my first name.
Okay, well, I believe you to be Christopher Green, and I'm detaining you currently.
I am not Christopher Green.
Right, okay, well, that's fine, but you're currently being detained up until the point that I can establish who you are. You're refusing to give me some details, so I need to establish who you are.
Please ask you to identify yourself?
Yeah, I'm PC 17768 Neil Williams.
And you, please?
Sergeant 15563.
Thank you.
Right,
which station?
Can we make it nice and easy for us and start giving just your first name, please?
Can I ask you which station you're from?
Yeah, I work at Withenshaw Police Station, work part of the X Department and part of the Transport Unit for Great Manchester Police.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
So we're going to start with your name then, please. And if there's nothing wrong, then we'll send you on your way.
When the officer suddenly states, "I believe you to be Christopher Green," the dynamic changes. Even though the auditor calmly denies it, the officer continues, not to confirm identity, but to assert authority. This wasn't about finding a suspect, it was a reaction to someone exercising their rights. The auditor wasn't evasive, aggressive, or uncooperative. He simply chose not to give his name without legal justification. That's a right, not suspicious behavior. What's even more concerning is the officer publicly naming someone as a wanted individual without any verified match. Under the UK GDPR and the Data Protection Act 2018, personal information must be treated responsibly. Naming someone as a suspect without confirmation isn't just careless, it could be defamatory and unlawful. If the auditor isn't Christopher Green, then two people's reputations were unnecessarily jeopardized.
It's not Christopher Green.
Okay.
100 Alpha.
And what is your name, please? And have you got anything to identify yourself?
I don't believe I have to answer these questions.
Right. You don't believe that you have to add, right, okay, well, I believe you to be wanted, right? So make it easy for us. Give us your details, identify yourself, show me some identification.
I don't believe I have to identify myself.
Well, you do.
We could arrest you, take you to custody and put you on a live scan machine. There's a necessity, if you're not giving your name and address, for us to verify who you are if we believe you to be wanted from the information we've got. So you can
I don't have to do that. You've not provided me with any grounds for an arrest.
Right, take your hands out your pocket so I can see them. I need to identify you. I'm trying to make it easy for you here, sir. So what I want,
I'm not in any threat to you.
No, not at all.
No, I'm not.
You had your hands in your pockets, and I don't know who you are.
Even after detaining the auditor in public, the officer still fails to provide any concrete reason. No specific crime, no real evidence, only a vague claim of a matching description. When the auditor calmly asks for the legal basis for the stop, the officer shifts focus. Rather than answer, he fixates on the auditor having his hands in his pockets, an obvious distraction. Lacking any legal justification, he tries to manufacture suspicion from posture alone. Then comes the most revealing moment. The officer admits, "I don't know who you are." That says everything. This isn't about suspected criminal behavior, it's about treating unfamiliarity as a pretext for detention.
So, up until the point that you identify yourself, make it easy for us, and if it isn't you, and I can establish who you are, and I can clearly identify you, then I'll send you on your way, right? Okay. But by you being obstructive at the moment...
I'm not being obstructive.
Well, you are, because you're refusing to provide us some details.
No, because I don't believe lawfully that I have to give you those details because I haven't committed any offence of harassment. I'm sorry.
Right, okay. Well, I believe you to be wanted, so I want you to, I need you to identify yourself in order for me to make those inquiries, and once I make those inquiries and find out that you are either wanted or you're free to go, I will then send you on your way, okay? Oh, no, don't, no, excuse me, I'm speaking.
You've asked me whether I'm Christopher Green, and I've said I'm not Christopher Green.
Right, and all I'll say to you is, right, identify yourself, because, no,
stop giving me orders.
I'm the police here.
Speak to me respectfully.
I have done, I've tried.
Speak to me respectfully.
What I'll say to you is, you're not going anywhere up until the point that I can clearly identify you, okay?
Right, but please continue.
There you go.
To speak to me respectfully. Okay,
so what's your name, please?
To speak to you always respectfully.
Your name, please.
Throughout the encounter, the auditor remains calm and clearly within his rights, stating that he hasn't broken any law and isn't obliged to show ID without proper cause. Yet instead of handling the situation professionally, the officer snaps, shouting, "No, I'm the police here." That outburst speaks volumes. Simply asserting a title doesn't make an action lawful, it highlights a lack of control. Rather than responding with facts or following proper procedure, the officer resorts to volume and intimidation. This isn't about maintaining order, it's about forcing compliance through pressure. When an officer prioritizes emotion over law, it casts serious doubt on the motives behind the stop.
I'm not giving you my name.
Right, have you got any ID on you?
I'm not. I don't have to do this.
The problem is, we suspect you of an offence.
Why do you, sorry mate, why do you believe that you don't have to do this?
Because I don't believe I've committed a criminal offence.
Right, okay. Well, then make it easy for me, sir, right?
I don't have to make anything easy for you.
Yeah, you do, unfortunately.
No, I don't.
Why aren't you being so obstructive? If you're not committed any offence, we can check your details. Then
I don't have to discuss anything with you.
Why are you trying to avoid it?
I'm not trying to avoid anything.
Because it's going to be a long process for you if we have to take you to custody and put you on one of them live scan machines to find out who you are.
Well,
so it'll be a lot straightforward if you just give us your details. We can check if you want to not. If you're not, absolutely fine, which is what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not Christopher Green, and I'm saying I'm not committed to offensive harassment.
Who are you then?
I've just told you I don't believe that I have to give you that information.
The auditor isn't being difficult. He's calmly exercising his rights, choosing not to provide personal details without a valid legal reason. That's not defiance. It's exactly the kind of right the police are meant to uphold. Instead of respecting this, the officer resorts to pressure. He warns the auditor of a lengthy custody process, not out of necessity, but as a consequence for non-compliance. This isn't about enforcing the law, it's about punishing someone for knowing it. A remark about using the live scan machine reveals the true tactic, leveraging inconvenience to gain compliance. When officers rely on threats rather than legal justification, it reflects a failure in both training and judgment. Ultimately, the officer only underscores the auditor's point. Real authority should never depend on intimidation.
And if I do, then I can give it to your desk sergeant, or I can give it to a judge.
Please, so I can see exactly who you are.
No.
I'm going to let go of your arm now, yeah? Okay. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be putting your hands in your pockets, right?
I won't do that.
Okay, because I need to be satisfied that you've not got something that can harm me or anyone else.
I promise you, there's nothing in my pockets that could harm you.
It is, isn't it? Boss.
Do you want to go and have a look at that picture? It is,
so guys, it looks like I'm going to be arrested here. Can I just turn this off?
Right, you're under arrest on suspicion of harassment.
According to the evidence, on unlawfully arrested. I've now passed the case on to HNK, and they are currently considering all of the information before they either accept or reject the case, and I'll let you know what happens there, guys.
This incident highlights a serious breakdown in policing. The officer stopped the auditor, known as autistic audit, without providing a clear legal reason and demanded ID without lawful grounds. When the auditor, fully within his rights, declined, the officer chose arrest over reason, despite no crime being committed. What followed was a disturbing escalation. Officers arrived based on a vague briefing and an unconfirmed description, and the lead officer publicly named someone as a suspect without verification, breaching privacy. As the auditor calmly requested legal justification, tensions rose. One officer shouted, "No, no, I'm the police here," while another threatened a lengthy custody process, using pressure rather than law to assert control. Ultimately, the auditor was arrested on poor assumptions, but later won his case with the help of HNK solicitors, proving that unchecked policing has consequences. This episode demonstrates what happens when vague suspicion replaces solid legal reasoning. Rights are ignored, privacy violated, and taxpayers bear the cost of avoidable mistakes, emphasizing the need for professionalism, accountability, and respect in law enforcement.